Okay, so today I'm going to go ahead and read off a list of some medical issues, and I want you to see how many of these you've had. If you want to comment, if you want to message me, let me know how many of these you've had, okay? And be truthful, be honest. Okay, first one is rib pain, like kind of pain in between the rib cage, in between the ribs. Have you ever had or have you recently had any kind of rib pain? Insomnia, can't get to sleep, or you fall asleep and you wake up in the middle of the night and you can't get back to sleep. Tingling of your fingers or numbness in your fingers. Have you ever had that? Do you have that at all? Elbow pain. Have you ever had any kind of pain where it's just your elbows, for some reason, mysteriously, no reason, just start to hurt? Do you have that? How about psoriasis? Flakes of red, scaly patches on your skin. Most common places are knuckles, elbows, knees. There are a lot of other areas, but those could be the most common areas. Fatigue, just for some reason you just feel super tired during the day. Panic attacks, heart palpitations, you feel like your heart is beating out of your chest, or your rhythm is speeding up or slowing down, or just your heartbeat just doesn't feel right. High blood pressure, low oxygen saturation. There are probably more things that I didn't really list here, but those are the things that came to my mind right off the bat. How many of those have you had or do you have right now? Why am I listing these? Why are these so important? Well, the reason I'm listing these is because every single one of these and more can be attributed to anxiety. And if I want to get a little more personal about it, every single one of those I have had in the past several years. Every single one of those. And some of them were scary, not good. You know something's wrong, but you just don't know really what to do about it. But as I have found out, anxiety is really, really powerful, and it causes so many physical conditions, and it's pretty serious. Anxiety can cause some real illnesses, physical illnesses in your body. So yes, I had every single one of those, and yes, it was scary. Now, speaking close to 4 years of microdosing magic mushrooms, I can honestly tell you, let me look at the list just to make sure, because I want to be totally transparent. You know, when something doesn't feel right, I tell you, I share it with you. But looking through this, I can honestly tell you that I don't have any of those anymore. I mean, they've all gone away, which leads me to believe, and again, I know this is not a scientific study, but it's the best I can do because I'm the one that's being the guinea pig here, and I'm the one that's been going through so much craziness. And I'm the one that can report to you that these are gone. So some of the things I've done from the very beginning of my magic mushroom journey, well, of course, microdosing magic mushrooms, but also, of course, paying attention to my diet. I've gone on a diet that is, I'd say, mostly anti-inflammatory. I definitely move my body a lot. I do all the work that goes along with the microdosing. I journal. I try to go to the gym, to yoga class, to things that I think are just really, really good for me. Because again, I'm paying a lot of attention to the way my body feels and making adjustments as necessary. And yes, so through much closer to 4 years of microdosing magic mushrooms right now, I can tell you that these medical issues mysteriously, well, or maybe not so mysteriously, have all gone away. Do I have any type of issues that I'm concerned about? Well, yeah, I do. I still do a little bit. I mean, one of the things I'm trying to really work on is I've got some type of, and it's occasional, but some type of GERD, gastroesophageal reflux disease. I guess that's a self-diagnosis. I've never been officially diagnosed, but sometimes I do need to take some Gaviscon or some Tums or something like that, and I'm trying to really work on that because I'm trying to figure out what's going on, why I do have that sometimes. But of course, that can be attributed to anxiety for sure. There's no question about that. So again, being transparent, I have that sometimes. But for the most part, everything I listed on that list is gone. And you might say, well, that's coincidental, David. I don't know whether that's the magic mushrooms or not. Well, that's too coincidental. It's way too coincidental. I've had this laundry list of craziness going on in my life. And I'll add to that, although many of these are caused by anxiety, I'll add to that general anxiety and depression, which are gone. So I'm making a case for microdosing magic mushrooms, as I've been doing on this podcast, and many episodes I've been talking about this for close to 4 years now, because I've tried everything, and I mean everything: pharmaceuticals, talk therapy, meditation. I still do some meditation and I like it, but that's not going to be the cure. I just don't feel that meditation is going to just totally wipe all these things out. Meditation along with microdosing, absolutely. Like the other things I've talked about along with microdosing, but many of these things, if you just do these alone without microdosing the mushrooms, I don't feel they're strong enough or have the power to totally reverse anxiety. Anxiety is a tough little creature, and it creeps up and it stays, and people just that don't know what to do about it. That's why so many people live their lives with anxiety, and not knowing how to get rid of it. And I was one of those. I remember from the first I can remember, probably. I remember back in high school, I had anxiety whether I'm going to get good grades, whether I'm going to get into college, and then in college, whether I'm going to get into professional school. It was never ending. I mean, I've had decades and decades of anxiety, and I'm surprised my body is still intact, honestly, because it can just rip it apart. It's really, really dangerous. So, and all along, when you're younger, you just put up with it. You think, well, that's okay. That's part of life. You're going through school, you're going through a profession, you're going through a job, a marriage, whatever it might be. And you think, well, anxiety just comes along with that. Well, that's not true. It doesn't have to be like that. Anxiety is, again, it's a killer. And like I just said, I'm surprised and thankful that my body and my mind and my organs I'm surprised and thankful they're still intact from decades of anxiety. So finally, in my 60s, and I'm almost 70 now, but in my 60s, I said, enough is enough. I can't live with this stuff. I've got to do something about it. And that's when I decided that, talk therapy, antidepressants, pharmaceuticals, they didn't cut it for me. So that's when I started using magic mushrooms about close to 4 years ago. And here I am, almost 4 years later, feeling good, feeling as calmer than I've ever felt in my entire life, except for maybe when I was a little kid. But starting in school, especially high school, I wasn't calm. There was no such thing as calmness in my life. And then again, leading into college, professional school, marriage, my dental practice, there was no such thing as calm in my life. And that's not the way it's supposed to be. I fully believe that we're supposed to live our lives feeling calm, unless there's a situation where our sympathetic nervous system needs to kick in, and that's the fight or flight response. And then in certain situations, you're getting chased by a bear in the woods. You don't want to be calm. You want blood flowing to your muscles, and you want to be able to dash out of there or do something to get out of the situation. Or if you're in a fight or anything like that where you need the blood flow to your muscles temporarily to get you out of a situation. But when you're in the sympathetic mode all the time, like I've been for decades, that's a recipe for disaster. And I'm telling you, if you are feeling that, if you're feeling anxiety every day or close to every day, you've got to do something about it now, because again, I think I was fortunate. Now, I don't know what's been lurking in my cells because of that anxiety for decades. I don't know. I don't know what's to come. I have no idea. I hope nothing bad, but I'm doing the best I can now. But if you're feeling the anxiety and you choose not to do anything about it, or you choose to do something about it which isn't working at all, then I think you're going to pay the price at some point. with this list of medical issues that I had that were many of them very scary. I mean, when your heart is beating outside of your chest and you've got high blood pressure and your oxygen is down and you're feeling tingling and numbness and bone pain, yeah, that's really scary. Really scary. So again, what I decided to do, I said, enough is enough. I took the bull by the horn, treated myself, I figured it out, and I feel a lot better now. That's why I'm doing this show here. I've been doing it for, again, close to 4 years now. I've been doing this show because I feel like if it worked and works for me, and it continues to work, if it works for me, then there's got to be somebody else on this planet that is or was going through the exact same thing or fairly similar to what I've been going through and could use this type of help. That's why I'm doing it. I really want to pay it back or maybe pay it forward to somebody. I never know the difference between paying it back to somebody or paying it forward. I'm just paying it to somebody. Let's just say that because, again, it doesn't matter if it's backwards or forwards. I want to give this information to those of you that are struggling and suffering through this incredible mental illness called anxiety and also depression. And it's so prevalent. It's sad, but it is out there and so many people have it. And so many people just are trying their best to use pharmaceuticals and talk therapy. And they're trusting the doctors. And trust me, I'm not against doctors. I am a doctor. I'm a retired dentist, but I certainly and I like doctors. I think doctors are a super important part of society and our lives. However, if you're going to a doctor that just doesn't understand how to treat what you've got and they're giving you the runaround, they're trying all this stuff that doesn't work, then that's a problem. And then I think at some point you start to either figure something out on your own because, as I've always said, there's nobody that's going to know your body better than you do. Or listen to me or somebody like me, somebody that's also done this. It doesn't have to be me, but somebody that's also figured this out and was able to reverse the mental health issues that plagued them or me for a long, long time. And I also want to say, if you're enjoying my content, make sure you like, share, and subscribe. And I've got a lot of links in the show notes and also my website, microdoseu.com. It's microdose with the letter U tacked on the end. And a lot of people are joining my Patreon page for extra content, things that I'm not really talking about on this show right here, things that I don't want to talk about, but things that I feel more comfortable sharing on the premium Patreon page. And you can find that link in the show notes or on my website as well, microdoseu.com. But again, I really appreciate you being here with me. I'm Dr. Dave. My show is called Microdose U. And again, I'm dedicating my life to trying to help you if you're in the situation that I was in just a very short time ago and just didn't know what to do and you're looking for help and trying to figure it out. I have figured it out. Follow what I do. There's a very good chance it's going to help you in a big way. So I will talk to you soon on the next episode, and I really, really appreciate you being here, and I do love you.